Hi, students, and welcome to today's lesson. I'm Miss Lee. Today, we will continue to explore the question, why do plants and animals live where they do? Are you ready? Grab your pencil and your science journal, and let's get started. Imagine a person goes out for an adventure in the forest. Let's think about what characteristics might help this person journey through the forest. This person has 2 legs. Those legs will certainly help the person walk or ride a bike along the trail. I also see a nose and a mouth. Those characteristics or observable parts will allow the person to breathe fresh air, eat a snack, and drink sips of water along the way. Now imagine the same person will go for a long swim in the ocean. Will those same characteristics help the person here? Will those characteristics be used in the same way? Today, we will look at organisms from these 2 environments and the characteristics that help those organisms survive there. Let's start with this animal. It's a mouse. Let's watch the mouse in action. As you watch, think about the mouse's characteristics. What characteristics did you notice? I noticed the mouse's paws with fingers and toes. I also noticed its large round ears. Maybe you noticed the mouse has a tail and whiskers. We know all these characteristics help the mouse survive, but I wonder which characteristics the mouse needs most to live in its forest environment. What do you think? I think paws with fingers and toes and large round ears are extremely important for the mouse to survive in the forest. I saw in the video clip that the mouse paws help the mouse hold onto branches and climb away from predators. I also believe the mouse's ears help it hear so it knows if a predator is nearby. Let's look at another animal that lives in a very different environment and see what characteristics help it survive. This is a whale. It is much bigger than the mouse we just saw. The whale and the mouse live in completely different environments too. We'll watch another video clip. As you watch, think about the whale's characteristics. So amazing! What characteristics did you notice? I noticed the whale has fins. And did you notice its eyes are on the side of its head? I also noticed the whale has a big mouth and a tail. Now we know all these characteristics help the whale survive. But I wonder which characteristics the whale needs most to live in its ocean environment. What do you think? Well, the whale's fins and tail are very important for survival because they help the whale swim in the ocean. And remember the whale's big mouth? The whale uses that big mouth to eat a lot of fish. If I had a body that big, I need to eat a lot too. Now let's put these animals side by side and see what we notice about these characteristics. How interesting. Even though these animals are very different, they do have at least one characteristic in common. What do you notice is similar? I noticed that both mice and whales have a tail. Even those tails look very different. Maybe you notice other similarities as well. But now I have an idea. We have investigated how animal characteristics help them survive in their environments. I wonder what would happen if a whale and a mouse switched environments? What do you think about that? You know, this question reminds me of a book. This book. It's called Amos and Boris, and it is written by William Steig. Look closely at the cover of the book. Do you see a mouse riding on the back of a whale? This book is a work of fiction, but some parts of the story are realistic. Let's read some excerpts from Amos and Boris together. Amos, a mouse, lived by the ocean. He loved the ocean. He thought a lot about the ocean. One day he started building a boat on the beach. When the boat was finished, he loaded it with cheese, biscuits, and various other necessities. On the 6th of September, he just managed to push the boat into the water, climb on board, and set sail. The rodent, for that was the boat's name, proved to be very well made and well suited to the sea. Let's reread that last sentence. The rodent, for that was the boat's name, proved to be very well made and well suited to the sea. Well suited to the sea? What do you think well suited means? I wonder if that means the boat works well in the sea. That makes me think about the mouse we observed earlier. Do you think mice are well suited to the sea? I do not think mice are well suited to the sea at all. Mice can't breathe underwater, and unlike whales, they can't hold their breath for a long time either. An organism is suited to an environment if its characteristics allow it to survive there. And an environment is suitable if the environment meets the needs of an organism. For example, our artificial caterpillar habitat was suitable for a caterpillar because it provided food, water, and space to grow. Let's spend some time really working to understand what this word means. This organizer is called a Frere model. We'll use the Frere model to help us better understand the term suitable. I already filled in the definition we just learned in the definition section. In the characteristics section, I will draw a whale in the ocean. Earlier, we noticed characteristics such as the fins and tail that whales use to swim, and we noticed that whales are big animals that need a lot of room to move around. Actually, that's a great example of what suitable means. In the example section, I'll write, an ocean environment is suitable for a whale because whales can swim and need a lot of space. What other examples of the term suitable can you think of? Finally, I'm thinking of non-examples of what suitable means. I'll write, a mouse can't breathe underwater or hold its breath for a long time, which means the ocean is not a suitable environment for a mouse. Now look at this photograph of a mountain environment. I wonder what organisms are suited to this environment. Remember these organisms from our last lesson? Each of them belongs somewhere in this mountain environment. Do you think you can figure out the best place to put each one? Which part of this environment is most suitable? I'll give you some time to think. Let's start with the rainbow trout. Where do you think the trout is best suited to live? Point to it. Did you point to the lake? That's what I was thinking too. The rainbow trout has gills that allow it to breathe underwater. It also has fins and a tail to help it swim. Next up, where would you place the columbine flowers? Well, the columbine flowers could probably live in several different parts of this environment, but I think the land around the lake would be most suitable for them. I know plants need light, so the flowers need to live in an open area where they can get plenty of sunlight. How about the alpine ibex? The mountains would be suitable for the alpine ibex. I think its strong legs would help it climb up and down rocks to find food. Let's look at the rattlesnake. I wonder where it is best suited to live. I think the rattlesnake would be best suited to live in the tall grass near the lake. That area seems flat, so the rattlesnake could easily move around even without legs. Maybe its scales would help it blend in with the grass and hide from predators. Finally, what about the Cape Griffin? Where does it belong? The Cape Griffin is suited to living in the trees. Its wings would help it fly up to the high branches. Its claws would also help it grab onto the branches and build a nest there. I think we are beginning to answer the question, why do plants and animals live where they do? For your second task today, you will use your own words to answer this question. Before we end the lesson today, let's go back to our story and see what happens next in Amos's journey. One night, while on the phosphorescent sea, he marveled at the sight of some whales spouting luminous water. And later, lying on the deck of his boat, gazing at the immense starry sky, overwhelmed by the beauty and mystery of everything, he rolled over and right off the deck of the boat and into the sea. Help, he squeaked as he grabbed desperately at the rodent, but it evaded his grasp and went bowling along under full sail, and he never saw it again. What do you think will happen to Amos? We will find out in our next lesson. We will also explore what happens to organisms when an environment is not suitable for them, like this ocean environment for little lost Amos the mouse. Let's review your tasks for today. First, complete the Freire model. Second, answer the questions about why organisms live where they do.